Hi everyone, my name is Ahmed and you are watching Jagu Studio YouTube channel. So today we are going to create this animation in Blender using geometry nodes. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So we are going to start with a plane, add a plane, then add a new window and change it to node editor. Okay. So now what we have to do is I'm just going to delete this group input because instead of this plane, I am going to use a cylinder, this one, and plug it into this group output. Now I want to rotate this on x-axis by 90 degree. And what I'm going to do is set the fill type to none and maybe reduce the vertices to 15 or maybe 12. No, 15 is okay. Then I'm going to set the side segments to 11 and for the depth just increase it to maybe, yes, this is okay. 10 is okay. You guys can go with the depth value of 10. Now I'm just going to add a separate geometry node here. Make sure to change its domain type to faces because we need to separate the faces from it. Now I am just going to add a random value node and change its data type to boolean and plug it into this selection section. Now you guys can see we have these faces that are born from here. So what this separate geometry node does it just is disappearing those faces from our mesh. Now we can control this at how many faces will disappear by just increasing or decreasing this probability value. You guys can see here. Now we have to use this inverted section. The inverted section is those faces that are gone from our mesh so that we can access those faces from this inverted section. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a join geometry node here and plug the inverted section into this join geometry node. Now you guys can see we have those faces back. But now if we go ahead and add a subdivide mesh node, not on selection on inverted area and increase the subdivide mesh value. Now if you guys go into wireframe mode, you guys can see we have this. Some of the faces are getting subdivided. Those faces that are inverted, that were gone. So those faces are getting disappeared. We can control this value by increasing or decreasing this probability value. There. Okay, so now we have to convert this into hexagon shape. So to convert it, first we have to triangulate these faces. So to triangulate these faces, we have to add a triangulate node. This one and plug it after this join geometry node. Now if you guys go into wireframe mode, you guys can see we have this triangulated geometry. And now we have to add a dual mesh node and place it after this triangulate mesh node. Now you guys can see we have this hexagon shape. Now just increase the subdivide mesh value and play with the probability value to get your desired look. So now what I am going to do is I am just going to add a split edges node. So what it does is, so what this split edge node does is, if we come into modifiers and add a smooth modifier, you guys can see this. We have this now. And so now what I'm going to do is I am just going to decrease the vertices maybe to 12 or something like this. Okay, so now just go ahead, add a solidify modifier and increase the thickness to whatever you guys like. Then I'm going to add a bevel modifier, increase the segments and the amount. Maybe I'm going to decrease the amount to something like this to get these kind of look. Maybe you can go more. Yes, that's okay. I am okay with this. Okay, that's cool. So now you guys can see we have this. Okay, so now I am just going to duplicate this and let me just remove all these modifiers except for the smooth modifier. Then select the geometry node and click on this 2 to create a new node tree for this object. And I am just going to increase the radius to get this flat area, a separate flat area as well. And I'm going with something like this will work, I think. Yes, okay, that's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a mesh to curve node and then curve to mesh node, curve to mesh. Then I'm just going to add a curve circle node and plug it into this profile curve. So now just decrease the radius and maybe a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I am okay with this. So now let's go ahead and start adding material on it. So add a set material node and place it at the end. And now I'm going to select this object as well and select geometry node modifier and add set material node on this object as well so that we can add materials on it. And now we have to add materials. Now come to material properties, add a new material and make it metallic. Set the base color to something kind of gray. That's kind of, and then come here and select this material 001. Now what we have to do is we need to add material on this one, and now I am going to add material on this object as well. So select it, maybe come to modifiers tab and decrease the smooth a little bit or maybe increase it. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Now come to material properties, add a new material. And for this one, we are going to add a glow on this object. So change the surface to emission instead of principal PHDF and set the color to whatever you guys want. I'm going with this kind of blue color and set the strength to 10 or maybe 20, whatever you guys like. And now we have this. And now just come to compositing tab, click on use nodes, and then I'm just going to add a glare node here and set the glare type to bloom, and we are done pretty much. Then go into material preview to see your result. And oh, I forgot to select the material here. So select this object, come here into the set material node, select this material. Now you guys can see this, and let me just turn on the compositor. Now you guys can see we have this animation right here. And in the white properties, I am going to set the color to black. And so now we need to do the animation. So press 1 on your keyboard to come to the front view. And then press Shift plus A on your keyboard and add a camera here. Now just press GY, make sure hold control and place it here. That's a good spot. Then press 0 on your keyboard to come to the camera view. Then select these objects and place this one here. Press Alt D to duplicate as an instance and place these three here. Now we need to make this animation in loop. So select all of these objects, press M on your keyboard, create a new collection, name it whatever you guys want, and I'm going to name it loop. So now what we have to do is we need to instance this collection. So press Shift plus A, come to collection instance and select this loop collection. Then press G, Y, hold control and place it here, something like this. Maybe then Alt D, Y and duplicate it one more time. Now press Shift plus R on your keyboard to repeat the last step. Whatever you guys want, you can repeat it. But I am going with these three collections. Now press 0 on your keyboard. You guys can see we have this animation. Then just select your camera, come to camera properties and set the focal length, decrease it. Uh, Something like this. I am okay with this. Maybe bring it up. Yes, okay. So I'm good with this. You guys can set the focal length value to 13. Then press Shift plus A and add a point light. So point light. I'm just going to solid mode. And then we are going to place this light here at the center of our tube. Then press Alt D to duplicate this light and place this one here and increase the power to 800. Then come to render properties and come down to color management and set the look to very high contrast, this one. Now just go into rendered mode, then come to world properties, then come to this volume section, click on this little green circle, then select principal volume here, this one, and set the density to pretty low, something like 0.01. And we have this, as you guys can see here. Now if you guys want, you guys can increase the color of your light to whatever you guys want. And then I'm just going to select this material, come to material properties, and let me just reduce the strength of it so that it's not too high, not too bright. And I'm going with the strength of 4 or maybe 5. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going with 5 or not 50. Yeah, 5. And let me just decrease the strength of these. So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you guys have learned something, make sure to hit that like button and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, peace out.